think he's really fit.
Really? He's still running around like an over-caffeinated headless chicken?
Pretty much, but he's got a lot on his mind.
Yeah, actually, I did think it was pretty hot when he was skating around the bistro in his slippy shoes.
Okay, I will give you that one. I mean, why can't he just pick his feet up?
Oh, yeah, his feet.
Whoa.
Don't.
I mean, my knickers are falling right off. Right, come on, you two. To the 3 blessed concubines of Nick Tilsley. Hey!
The talk of the street.
Talk of the street.
The talk of the street.
Talk of the street.
The talk of the street.
Talk of the street.
The talk of the street.
Talk of the street.
Hello and welcome to episode 380 of The Talk of the Street, an unofficial Coronation Street catch-up podcast that immediately travelled back 40 years as soon as David received a ping to his forehead. I'm Gavin.
I just saw ghost.
A spooky ghost.
It's a spooky ghost.
Wow.
Because it's Halloween and it's spooky.
Did you see a spooky ghost?
I did see a spooky ghost.
For reals?
Yeah. It's outside. It's lit up next to our candy bowl.
And the podcast is not even a minute old and I'm so disappointed already.
Aw.
It wasn't a real ghost?
Well, I mean, it was a real plastic ghost.
Yeah. Happy Halloween, everybody.
You don't believe in ghosts. Happy
No.
Halloween.
No, clearly not. So I was ready to have my whole belief system rocked to its very foundation.
You've been in spooky places before, though.
I have.
Our friend Sue's house in Connecticut is supposedly haunted. And it was kind of spooky staying there, but I think it was more suggestion than anything else.
Yeah, Sue's suggestion. Although I did find myself doing what she basically said that she did when she moved in.
Talk to the ghost.
Talk to the ghost.
Yeah.
Talk to the ghost, said I respect your presence, I respect your right to be here, but I do not wish to interact with you. So please, dear ghost, pray, allow me safe slumber in your residence.
He said it exactly like that, folks.
And do you know what?
It was
sure
fine.
enough.
It was fine.
Which proves.
Yes. Which proves the existence of ghosts because it left you alone.
Right. Her house was spooky as fuck though, because
It was spooky. Because it's
it was
old.
like five floors or
Yeah.
so it seemed. And the top one was just completely covered in... It wasn't completely covered. There was graffiti in it.
Yeah.
In the attic space, and that
Right.
was really creepy. You
Yeah.
don't expect to see graffiti in somebody's house that they're living in.
We have handprints downstairs.
That's just people trying to get out. That's just people...
Handprints on
That's
the
just people
cement.
scraping at the walls trying to get
Handprints
out.
on the cement block. Because somebody, I guess, thought that would be cheery. Because it's in bright, cheery colors in a basement.
Yeah. Anyway.
We make our children play down there, or we made our children play down there. But not anymore, because they're grown-ups now.
Yeah, we don't make them do anything.
No.
That's how the handprints got there in the first place. Anyway, how are you?
Yeah,
How's your week been?
I'm all right. This is like, it feels kind of sad, because this is our last Halloween with a young person in the house to go out trick-or-treating. Because I'm imagining wherever Stella goes to college next year, she won't be coming back to Eaton Rapids to trick-or-treat.
No, I wouldn't have thought so.
No.
I'd think badly of her if she did.
So it's weird. It's like one of those, last week we had her last football game, her last marching band thing of her high school career. It's the last Halloween. We're hitting all these last landmarks. And it feels weird.
Yeah.
It feels weird.
Keeping it light.
Yeah. Well, I could make it much darker, but I'm not going to. How are you this week?
Yeah, I'm all right. Been crazy busy at work. Been crazy busy at work for a while.
Yeah. I scrubbed the floors in the bathrooms today.
Do you know, this house has never been cleaner. This is the benefit of your unemployment.
And I don't mind it.
Well, keep it up. And if you want to find somebody to pay you to do it, that'd be even better. Oh,
Yeah,
that'd be
no.
me.
If you want to pay me to do it, that'd be cool. Well, I mean, technically, I guess you do pay me in love and affection.
And groceries. Indeed. But yeah, you've been doing a fantastic job.
Thank you. And I mean, I also have time during my day to, I list things on Mercari and Etsy and Poshmark and stuff. And I have time to watch a movie a day. And I read my books and stuff. So it's not like I'm working my fingers to the bone every day. But yeah, it's been nice to feel less overwhelmed. And I recognize that we have a lot of privilege to be able to do this right now. Where, we're not desperate for my income. And I can stay home for a little while.
Yeah. In about 5 minutes, though, I'm going to beg people to sign up to be a friend of the podcast. That's something for us all to look forward to.
Right, yes, because as I may have mentioned, we do have a child going to college next year. Pre-med. Chemistry. So, not cheap. Not cheap to become a doctor in this country.
I would guess we should preamble, my dear.
Yes, please.
Give us some of that spooky Corrie news.
Corrie was off on Wednesday due to the Newcastle Tottenham Hotspur game.
Those aren't even teams,
Those are.
are they? Oh.
And was instead on Thursday. And for once, even I was inconvenienced by this change. Because this is the other thing about having lots of time is I watch Corrie on the days that it comes out now. I watch on Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Are you making Corrie's schedule change about you?
Yes.
Okay, just checking.
And I make a list of 10 things to do each day. And on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, watch Corrie is one of those things on that list.
That's an easy one for you to tick off.
Yeah. And so
That's why it's on the list, isn't it?
And so I have this thing on my list that I wasn't able to check off my list because it wasn't on.
Oh, no.
How dare they do this to me? I'm sharpening my pitchfork as we speak.
In a spooky way?
In a spooky way.
Excellent.
Jane Danson is tired of made-up stories like the recent one that's been going around that she's been axed from the show, calling it damaging and unkind to publish untrue stories like that.
You fucking tell them, Jane.
Yeah, you fucking tell them, Jane. And I mean, this happens all the time, and it happens to so many people. And even I sometimes, because it sounds like a valid story, and then somebody says, it sounds like AI. And then, I will immediately delete whatever I've said. But then you notice that the same story keeps going around and around, only the names change.
Yeah. This has affected Jane Danson before, and she hasn't said anything.
No.
But the straw that broke the camel's back, as it were, it was just another one of those. And I can imagine these sort of things are quite hurtful.
Yeah.
Because, a lot of Corrie stars, a lot of soap stars stay off social media because of things like this, because of, the accusations that fly about and
Right.
and the falsehoods and stuff, and also just sometimes fans can be a little bit,
Yeah, I know.
So I can imagine that being, if you see it, it becomes quite damaging because it's your reputation, and it only takes a few people to believe it's true, and then, a lie's gone halfway around the world before the truth's had time to tie its shoelaces, as they say, or words to that effect.
Pull on its trousers.
That too.
Yeah.
So, yeah, good for her to make a stand on it.
Winston Churchill, right?
I think so.
Yeah. Hence the trousers.
We don't wear shoes?
Well, no, like if it said pants, then I'd say Mark Twain.
He also never wore underwear. Dirty boy. You wash those trousers.
But yeah, it's not a nice thing to do. And there's plenty of stuff to talk about that's real. So just talk about real shit.
Right.
That's what we do. We talk about real shit on this podcast.
Sure.
Yes. And finally, Aaron McCusker.
And finally, Jane Danson set to leave the show.
No, you shut the fuck up. We like Jane.
I love Jane.
Jane and Georgia did the whole Dollywood thing with us.
We loved them before that.
We did, but that just cemented them into our hearts permanently. Aaron McCusker, who plays newcomer Ben on the show, agreed to join the show after wife Jenny Sutton encouraged him to take a role where he could be home every night and have a regular job and not have to be leaving for a long theater run or for a long movie shoot, because he's been in a couple of movies as well. So yeah, listen to your wives is the lesson of this Corrie news.
He's another shameless alum.
Yes.
And was
the
also
British shameless.
And was also in Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yes. He was Freddie Mercury's boyfriend at the end. He got to smooch
Rami Malek.
Yes.
I'm not sure anyone was lucky in that situation. He's a strange looking man, Rami Malek. Not in a bad way.
No, not in a bad way at all.
Just in a really peculiar way.
In an interesting way.
He was also in 24 Live Another Day. He was in The Bill. He's in Dexter.
Yeah. He's done a lot.
Yes, I'm just going through his Wikipedia page. You'd think I would have done this before speaking into a microphone on a Coronation Street podcast, but hey, there you go.
Yeah. It's the Bohemian Rhapsody that just really impresses me, you know.
We hated that film.
We did, but it was a major
Not
motion.
because of him. So
No, it was a major motion picture that was up for a number of Oscars. So,
yeah.
oh,
good stuff.
he was in Prancer, A Christmas Tale as well.
That's where I remember him from.
Yeah, yep. He was Gerald in that. Do you remember Gerald in Prancer, A Christmas Carol,
He was my favourite.
A Christmas Tale? Sorry.
Is that Corrie News?
And that's Corrie News.
That's Corrie News. That leads us seamlessly into our special spooky Everyone's a Critic. Gary writes in, was it just me or was it like a different show this week? Not saying it was for the better, not saying it was for the worse, but there's a definite change.
It did feel different.
Perhaps because most of it seemed to happen in our busy rovers. Maggie Driscoll is already getting on my tits. Thanks, Gary. Marching to the beat of your own drum, as ever. Or are you? We'll find out later. Cheeky writes, hey, Gavin and Helen, I don't know who resurrected Coronation Street this week, but give them a medal. Or better yet, just rename the show the Eva Price Hour, because she single-handedly dragged this rotting carcass of a soap back to life. Within minutes, she had Leanne, Toya and Nick spinning like it was 2018 again, except this time she actually got Leanne to face the truth. She's not misunderstood, she's miserable. And the reason she's miserable is because she keeps hanging around Nick Flywind Tilsley, the human embodiment of beige wallpaper. And bless Toya, she's always been the emotional punch bag of the family. Eva showing up and saying, maybe the problem isn't your sister, maybe it's that useless lump you're dating, was the most satisfying thing Corrie's done in ages. Ben's interesting, charming, fit, but you just know he's hiding something. And then there's Maggie, quietly becoming the emotional anchor of the week. I'm not sure quietly.
No.
That one
There's nothing quiet about that woman.
That one conversation she had with Asha was such a standout moment. It didn't magically fix Asha, but it opened her eyes to something more important, that she needs and deserves medical and psychological help. But then Friday hit, and the good vibes went out the window. Becky making a move on Lisa was just grim.
Ugh.
There's manipulative, and then there's Becky. But despite that trash fire of a Friday, I'll say this. For the first time in months, Corrie mattered. The writing had a pulse again. The characters had teeth. It was messy. It was loud. It was alive. If they can keep even half this momentum going, we might actually be heading back to that golden era when Coronation Street looked and sounded like it did 10 years ago. Well, thank you very much. Cheeky, who seems to have very much enjoyed this week's episodes.
I would argue, and I will do this later, that, well, Eva deserves some praise. I think the writers finally giving Glenda, Sean, and Lauren fun, interesting lines interacting with one another, which they could have done months ago before Eva showed up.
See, this is kind of my point.
Would have, that's because give them their own show. I want the Glenda, Sean, and Lauren hour. That's what I want. But anyway.
We haven't, I swear we haven't spoken about this before we very rarely do speak about
We
this
very
before
rarely do.
I hit record, but that was kind of what I was thinking was like, why weren't they writing like this 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, last month?
Yeah.
Eva's return has brought a kind of bubbliness from that character, but there's fun characters there that just haven't been allowed to be fun or haven't been written to be fun.
Right, and now they have.
That this could have been done with just another character.
Right.
Because the Driscolls are mostly unknowns. We know Eva, we don't know anybody else.
Well, we know Ollie.
Do we?
I know how much
Do
you,
we?
I know how much you.
Do we know Ollie?
I know how much you love Ollie.
I don't believe we do know Ollie.
His oxen are free.
But anyway, yes, we shall get to that. But thank you,
We
Cheeky. Kathy writes, "Hi, Gavin and Helen. Long-time listener, first-time emailer here.
Woohoo!
I just wanted to drop you a note about the new Driscoll family. Well, okay. And see if I'm the only one feeling this way. At first, I wasn't sure what to make of them. New families in the street can be a bit a hit or miss. But I have to admit, they've grown on me faster than I expected. There's a nice mix of personalities. Ben has that spark of chaos that every good Corrie clan needs, and Maggie already feels like she's been there for years. The writing's been sharper too, especially in the scenes where they bounce off the established characters. That said, I hope the show doesn't fall into the usual trap of giving them too much too soon. Let them breathe.
Yes.
I'd rather see them gradually woven into the fabric of the street than burned out in 6 months with an affair, a secret baby, and a kitchen fire. Overall, though, I think the Driscolls could be a solid addition. They've got the potential to be the next Battersbys rather than another Bailey situation. Curious what you two think. Keep up the great work for the podcast. You're the best part of my Corrie week. Well, thank you very much.
Very nice.
Indeed, Kathy, that's very nice of you to say so.
Yes.
Well, we will spend the next hour or so telling you exactly what we think. And oh, I've almost forgotten.
Physical mail!
Woo!
Now, I forgot to go to the P.O. Box this week, but I went last week after we'd recorded the podcast.
Yes.
And we had a piece of physical mail.
Yes, it's a beautiful card.
Now,
Would you
as
like me
is
to read it?
Tradition, Helen attempts to read out the card.
This is a beautiful card with like a river, I believe.
Or a canal.
On the front. With seals and swans and boats. It's very lovely. I like the little seal peeking his head out of the water. That's my favorite part. Dear Curly and Raquel, you're Curly.
Damn right I am.
VB Amy here. No. It's Gold Coast Caroline here. Wait, it's both of us.
What?
Did you hear the slight change in my voice between the two?
Helen, I'd be amazed if we don't get offers for you to be doing voice character acting after this.
I honestly should be doing it. Let's be honest. Remember how great my commercials were when we had that sponsor? Remember we were sponsored by an English lawyer's office, solicitors, and I did the talk of the street is blah 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 blah. But it was the talk of the street.
DonaghueSolicitors.co.uk.
Yeah, that's not how I sound, but it's fine.
It's close enough.
Anyway, and it's cool because they use different colored ink for the two different people.
Oh, this reminds me of the book Are You Dave Gorman that was written by Dave Gorman and Danny Wallace, and they use different fonts in the book.
Yes. Gold Coast Caroline is blue and VB Amy is black.
Excellent.
We are reunited for the first time in 2 years for a family wedding.
Oh, that's lovely.
Just wanted to say hello and send a card for your corkboard from Cork.
Ha
Ha!
Let's see what they did.
Yes. We have not listened to this week's PC yet. Podcast, I'm assuming PC means. And not like physical contact.
Is that what you think?
That it's podcast, not physical contact?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
That's a leap.
Yes. They both are initialized PC. Although I've never seen podcast initialized PC. Have you?
Not me, but I imagine that PC was written in an attempt to save time.
Yeah, and space. Yet as we are saving it for our respective flights back home.
Oh, very nice.
Oh, nice. Virginia Beach Amy and Gold Coast Caroline. In parentheses, Metcalf. So this card is from Cork. Cork City.
That's in Ireland.
Yes. HubertBookbinding.com.
Say
Give
it
them
in
a
an
look.
Irish accent.
No.
Just like Corrie did this week.
No. Corey didn't say HubertBookbinding.com.
HubertBookbinding.com, so it is.
That's offensive. How dare you?
Oh, my darling, you ain't seen nothing yet.
Oh my God. It was nice. It's nice. I will say it's nice to have Irish accents back on the street.
Moving on. Thank you ever so much to the Metcalfs.
Yes. If you hear sirens in the background, don't worry. We're not under attack. It's just the end of trick-or-treating.
Or so we think. Thank you to the Metcalfs, to Kathy, to Cheeky, and to Gary for writing in this week. We very much appreciate it. Feedback's always welcome. Send us your thoughts and I'll probably read them out. Get us at thetalkofthestreet@gmail.com, or our DMs are open at Corrie Podcast. So we love it when people write actual letters to us. Send us your proper mail to the Talk of the Street, PO Box 12, Eaton Rapids, Michigan 48827. Please note that we reserve the right to edit feedback, but in the interests of brevity only. And now let's podcast for coffee. We're buying our own copies this week. I am drinking...
Pee.
I am drinking my own urine this week
You're
that I've put through the soda stream, so it's slightly fizzy.
You're that guy that Leonardo DiCaprio played in that movie, The Aviator.
And this is pink. I don't know what you think my pee looks like.
It doesn't look pink from here.
This is cherry and... There's a cherry lemonade, I think.
Ooh, nice.
It's very nice.
Is it fizzy? Well, of course it's
Yeah.
fizzy. It's fizzy cherry lemonade.
It's busy with the
give
fizzy.
me a sip of that.
No floaters.
No.
God damn it, Helen, if you put a float in that.
Don't make me choke.
That's 2 sips.
Because you made me choke. Yes, that's lovely.
Let me check it for floaters.
God.
No, we're okay. Nothing worse than chewing on your drink. That's lovely, isn't it?
It is. It's very nice.
What are you drinking?
Cranberry juice.
Isn't it funny that people could listen to us haver and shite to each other whilst on a plane? Isn't that weird? Sometimes it's just weird when you think about things like that.
I think about people listening to us talk on their way to work or when they're jogging.
Or on a bike.
Think about the fact that my face is in at least one cupboard in a house I'll never be in. Ever. Thank you, Les Paul, for buying one of our mugs.
Ian Les Paul. He's not a guitar.
How do you know he doesn't make guitars in his...
I didn't say he didn't make guitars. I said he's not a guitar.
Yes, but you know Les Paul is actually a person as well, yes. He's not just a guitar.
That's his name, yes. His name's
Yes.
Les. It's not the Paul in French.
Le Paul.
I just think it's weird. I like thinking about that sometimes.
Yeah.
People just going about their business. Well, there's probably a better way of saying that, but when I'd see the devices that people listen to us on, and like Amazon Echo is one of them, so somebody must be in their house saying, hey, whatever it is, what's this, the Amazon one?
It's not...
Alexa?
Yeah.
Is that Alexa?
I think it's Alexa.
Play the Talk of the Street, so they're walking about their...
They're folding their laundry listening to us talk about
Right.
Coronation Street. People sleep to us.
Well, you do anyway.
I sleep to us.
I just don't listen to it. I listen to it enough as I'm editing it. That's right, listener. This has been edited. There's bits of this that I cut out. Anyway, the Talk of the Street is and will always be free on your podcast provider and on the YouTubes. But if you think a show's worth anything more than the time it takes to listen to it, and if you want to show your appreciation, or if you want more weekly and monthly content, and this week is a great example of that.
It is a fantastic example of that.
Because it's just... everything's coming up the Talk of the Street podcast-wise
Absolutely.
today.
Yes.
Saturday, November 1st, sees this show drop. It sees our spoiler alert show drop. And it sees our classic show drop.
Yes. Very exciting.
Where we talk about episode 630. 630.
630. Because we did 639. 639 was
We
the
did
fire.
638.
Oh, 638 was the fire. This
Si-
is, instead of Dennis lighting a table on fire, this is the episode where he's Batman.
Coronation Street was so good.
It was so good. Nobody died. Except in Australia.
And somebody's about to die, but
Right.
we'll skip over that.
Yes. There's no scene in a police station or a hospital.
Yeah, we're building up quite the collection of classic episodes now. This is our 4th month,
Yes.
so a 4th classic episode. So you sign up to be a friend of the podcast, you get access to all that.
Yes.
Here's how you can do that. You can sign up to be a friend of the podcast for as little as $2 a month. You can do so at patreon.com/the talk of the street, ko-fi.com, that's ko-fi.com/the talk of the street, or you can hit the join button on our YouTube channel at youtube.com/the talk of the street podcast. Like I said, friends of the podcast get access to a weekly spoiler show, the Talk of the Street Spoiler Alert, and a monthly classic Corrie show, the Talk of the Street Classics. And if all that wasn't enough, you also get a shout out at the end of every podcast and your name on the credits on the main show. But if you prefer something a little less formal, you can always buy us next week's coffee by going to ko-fi.com/the talk of the street, and all of these links can be found on our Linktree. That's linktree.com/Corrie podcast. But remember, you can always support the podcast for free. Get us in front of new listeners by liking, subscribing, rating, and reviewing wherever you get your podcasts. So, shall we dive into this week's episodes, my dear?
Yes, please.
Our first storyline this week is Meet the Driscolls. On Monday, she's back, bitches.
Who's back?
Eva Cakes.
Okay, thank God, because the way this episode started, I thought either we were getting a flashback to Todd's colonoscopy and we were looking at Todd's colon,
More chat of that, please.
or we were in that one particular scene in the movie Nope, where people are getting sucked into the giant space alien jellyfish thing. And all you see is like little slits of pink and people screaming in terror.
No, instead of those unlikely things, this is Eva Cakes being unblindfolded by her Irish husband, Ben, and wondering why she's standing in front of the Rovers. He's just bought it for her. Just don't ask her to pay for the cake. Maria sees this and pisses herself as she rushes to tell Fizz and Tyrone. Inside the pub, Sean is thrilled to see Eva again, while mostly everyone else doesn't know who she is.
Who?
Ben, meanwhile, has already offended Dee Dee by calling her darling. Glenda immediately wants to know what her plans are for the staff, and Cassie introduces herself as the cleaner, until Glenda puts Eva right on that.
No, it was hilarious. She says, "Hi, I'm the cleaner." And Sean and Glenda immediately say, "No, she's not."
Right.
In unison. Mm-hmm. It was beautiful.
It's true, though, she isn't.
No, she's not. But it's just hilarious that she was trying to pass her off as herself off as one so that she can get a job.
Yeah.
And that Glenda and Sean are immediately nope.
It's a hard no on that.
It's a hard no on that. And I'm like, where has this Glenda and Sean duo been all my life?
Now, they will do old Sean a little bit when he's talking about balls.
Yes.
Because that's all Sean was really good for, was slight sexual innuendo.
Right.
But
Gay
here
sexual innuendo.
But here he's given, like, proper jokes with proper timing.
I know. Give him more.
Yeah. Ben apparently was pretending he'd bought the flying horse, which surely would have raised more questions than it answered, but never mind. Eva Cakes is chuffed to bits and gives Ben credit for doing a great job organising all this behind her back. Meanwhile, Fizz, Maria and Tyrone are reminding us all about who Eva was and what her history was with Maria, and this is a cue for lots of people to talk about fountains. Back at the pub, Glenda tells Ben to call Carla, while Maria misremembers the Karate Kid to Gary. That was pretty funny as well. Mm-hmm. The Mr. Miyagi. Mm-hmm. And she didn't know who Mr. Miyagi was.
No.
But it's just this conversation between the two of them that's not about the Karate Kid or Mr. Miyagi.
No.
But they spend an awful lot of their conversation talking about the Karate Kid or Mr. Miyagi.
Yes.
I can't remember what she called him, but it was something close, Mr. Magic or something like that, wasn't it? I think it was Mr. Magic. And Gary was really offended that she got it wrong because she's never watched the Karate Kid and she doesn't care because that's not what she really wanted to talk about.
No.
But again, that was just another little throwaway bit of conversation that doesn't require Eva to be back.
No.
I'm not saying that Eva coming back's a bad thing.
No.
But I'm saying that...
It's just, why weren't they writing this stuff before?
Exactly.
Yes.
Because you write this before and we're laughing about it and we're talking about it.
Right. And we're saying,
And we're saying,
oh
this
my
is- this is
God,
great.
this is great.
More of this,
More of
please."
this, please.
Yeah.
Yes.
Maybe not in unison like we just did there, which was slightly creepy. Then the rest of the gang arrive. There's Susie, and Ben apparently has 2 sons. Susie remembers Leanne, and one of the sons is Ollie. Fucking Ollie. Who introduces Ben to Dee Dee, and Dee Dee is already put out.
How cute is Susie? Oh my God, that kid is cute. Her wee accent is so adorable. I just want to pinch those cheeks. She's so cute. Even when she's mouthing off, she's adorable.
Is she what you would describe as precocious?
Yes. But
Yeah, I can see that grinding my gears in a little bit. But yeah, for now,
she's so cute. I love her.
this is a Susie that
The last
Was-
time we
was
saw
this-
Susie, she was a baby.
she was just a wee baby, and she was
was a
the
baby.
centre of all this drama
and controversy.
And yeah,
She hadn't developed an Irish accent yet.
she hadn't. She was working on it, but it hadn't fully developed yet.
Yeah, it reminds me of how disappointed all of the ladies in the school office were when they thought that Benny and Stelly had your accent.
Oh,
Remember that? Like, oh, did the kids talk like you? And you said no, and they said aw.
Stella could pull it off if she wanted to.
Yes, which she does frequently.
Yeah. So yeah, Ollie. Ben has a private word with creepy Ollie and offers to let him in on a business opportunity that suddenly appeared for him. But Ollie is not interested one little bit. It feels like Ollie has been there, done that
Yeah.
with his dad before.
And in a little bit, we may find out exactly what Ben is talking
I
about.
think we will.
Yes.
In fact, I'm going to promise you that we will find out.
Yes.
Later, Glenda takes an enormous amount of pleasure telling Eva Cakes that the money hasn't cleared for the pub, so she's not boss,
Not yet.
so refuses to take any orders from her. Yeah, about that, says Ben. It seems that he's a little short, but he promises to sort it out.
But not as short as David.
Even Eva doesn't trust him and wants to repack the van. They can't live there if they haven't paid for it. Maria's made up about this. Later, Ben comes back with good news. Despite the hour and the short notice, the sale has now gone through. He called in a favour and the pub is now hers. To celebrate, Eva calls a fucking lock-in. You ever been in a lock-in? Do they have lock-ins here?
Not in that kind of lock-in. No, that's not legal here.
Oh, it's not legal in the UK either.
Yeah. No. For me, a lock-in is when, you're in high school and they lock you in the school overnight and you sleep in the school
I don't know.
sort of thing. Or in the church. Or in a museum. We've had lock-ins in museums. Oh, or on a tall ship at the Mystic Seaport.
These are all really sad and
Oh, fuck you. That was really cool, sleeping in the USS Constitution at the seaport and climbing the rigging and stuff.
cooler than being in a pub slightly longer than you're supposed to be?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
The thing about being in a lock-in is because it's illegal, they're not allowed to take money from you. So what the bartender will do, or the owner, the only times I've been involved in a lock-in, it was the owner, takes a note of who's had what, and then they have to settle up like the next day or next time
Right.
they're in.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's very illegal.
Right. Yeah. And it's what? You're locked in so you can drink more and spend more of your money later on?
Yeah.
How is that fun?
Well, drunk people don't want to leave the pub. That's how I remember it. The pub is busier than it's ever been since before COVID, and it's great to see it, and everyone's getting pished. And then there's a knock at the door, and obviously they're worried it's the police, but it's not. It's the old dear. It's Ben's mum. It's Eva Cakes' mother-in-law, Maggie.
Yes.
And if you haven't noticed, she's Irish.
She's very Irish.
And she's the one who bailed Ben out with the last-minute funds, so she'll be moving in too, and she declares herself landlady and the drinks are on the house, sure and begorra. Now, did Maggie... Well, I feel bad saying this, because everyone is in love with this character, and
I'm kind of in love with her, but I wasn't in love with her here. And if you listen to, spoiler alert, I cast aspersions on them writing in the year of our Lord 2025 a stereotypical mother-in-law character.
It's not only a stereotypical mother-in-law character, it's a stereotypical Irish person and stereotypical mother-in-law all rolled into one. I would say maybe a stereotypical Irish mother-in-law. And it's like, really? This is how we're going to be writing this character?
Yeah.
Because she was ticking all the boxes for Irish stereotypes, I felt, and Irish mothers, I felt. And that's her shtick, right? From Father Ted and stuff, and I'm sure she's been in other things. But it just felt a little lazy to me.
Yeah. There are moments where I really like Maggie this week. And there are moments where I'm like, oh, come on.
Yeah.
And this isn't the worst one.
Oh, no, this isn't the worst one at all. But
No.
it felt like going into this, the characters had all been built up by Kate Brooks herself. This is a
Right.
family that you're going to fall in love with, and everything's going to be going through the Driscolls in the pub, and they're going to be the centre of Christmas and all this stuff. It's like we're putting all our eggs in one basket here,
Yes.
and that basket has the word Driscolls
Right.
dino taped on the front of it.
Right.
Remember dino tape?
No.
And it's
What's dino tape?
it's the stuff where you had the little tape, and you had a spindle that you would spell out words, and it would punch letters into this tape.
Like a label maker?
Kind of like a label maker, but it was
Okay.
called a dino tape for some reason. Was it called a dino tape? Dymo.
Dymo tape. Okay, now I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, that change in consonant really made a difference.
Clears everything.
So yeah, so maybe the excitement about it sort of raised the expectations a little too high. I really don't think I'm just trying to be controversial or a fly in the ointment here or that sort of thing. But yeah, just the way that she was introduced particularly. I didn't mind. Ben's fine.
He is very Irish as well.
He's Irish.
He's got some Irish stereotypes as well.
He does. He does.
Yeah.
We don't really see them in the first
Not
episode,
yet,
though.
but they're a-coming.
They do raise their head in the Wednesday's
They're
episode.
coming.
And yeah, it just felt like if you were to imagine how they're going to write an Irish mother-in-law, you would come up with this.
Yeah.
And maybe that's not great.
Yeah.
Move on. And this becomes partly Sucks to be a Webster. On Wednesday, Eva's name was now above the door, and Eva squeezed in such delight that Maggie can't help but hide her disapproval of this screeching that only dogs can surely hear. Well, you heard it, said Eva.
Oi.
Eva calls a staff meeting and announces her plans for the Rovers. Sell booze to borderline alcoholics for as long as they possibly can. Sean, Glenda and Lauren are guaranteed employment. Eva wants to go big on Poirot for Halloween. Maggie wants games of Wrap the Mummy and the Monster Mash. And there's some confusion over who the boss is here.
Yes.
Maggie and Ben have plans to take Betty's picture down.
No.
So Ben can put his rugby ball on the wall? How do you put a rugby ball on the wall?
it's his little rugby plaque, not the ball.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I'm sure I wasn't the only one shouting at my television saying, "Don't you fucking dare touch that, sir. Do you want everyone on the street to hate you?"
Right. And they're quickly disabused of the notion of when people start talking about curses,
Yes.
the embodiment of which seems to be a morose Kev nursing a pint in a booth on his own.
Oh, I'm sorry. We were kind of talking about the lock-in, and then we kind of talked about Irish stereotypes. How did you feel about the lock-in scene? Where, like, it goes on forever, just seeing people just pour alcohol down their throats over and over again, and Brian pass out on a table, and for the laughs. How did you feel about that?
Honestly, I felt like it was good to see the Rovers being a pub again.
Didn't feel like maybe it went on too long and maybe was a little too boozy.
I don't know if it was too boozy. It is a pub.
Right.
But it did go on. There are quite a few scenes accompanied by music,
Yes,
more or less,
which annoy the hell out of me.
which did go on. I think I was in a spirit of understanding and welcoming for that.
Yeah.
I was honestly just kind of shocked and a little anxious about how many people were in the pub, because it was a normal amount of people in the pub.
Right.
And it's never been a normal amount of people in the pub. Even when they've had the karaoke nights and the drag queen night, when it's been busy in comparison to how it's been normally when it's like one or two people in it. Mm-hmm. This was like a proper pub, a proper pub population.
Yeah.
And the sort of thing that you would expect on a opening night for a new owner is everyone to come out and see what it's like. But again, there's no reason why this couldn't have been done for Jenny when she was the landlady.
Right. They
But-
could have given Jenny a leaving due for fuck's sake.
Indeed.
But yeah, I don't know. For me, it was just like, I don't really want to watch people get so drunk they pass out. That's not entertainment to me. So for me, it felt like it went on a little too
I
long.
did chuckle a little at Brian, because we all know what happens to Brian when he drinks too much.
Yeah.
School governors get their brollies out. Anyway, Kev's nursing his pint in a booth on his own. The embodiment of a curse or death from the seventh seal.
Yes.
Dee Dee comes in to tell Ollie that the charges have been dropped in his dodgy MOT case, and when Ben catches wind of this, he's fuming, wanting to know where he got the dodgy MOT from in the first place. Kev perks up at this and points them all in the direction of Carl, who's in the corner minding his own business at the puggy.
Yes.
Ixnay on the OT May, says Carl. But Ben is very interested in all this as Eva throws Kev out. Ollie wants Ben to drop it and seems super on edge talking about it with him, the creepy prick. As an aside, Maggie ingratiates herself with the staff and has put scented bog roll in the ladies, which is playing havoc on Glenda's floof. Carl leaves.
Yeah. You don't want that. You don't want scented. I didn't even know they still made scented toilet roll because it's not good for your inside bits.
Maggie shops in the 1970s.
Obviously.
Because she's Irish.
I bet it's tinted as well. I bet it's pink coloured.
Would imagine it smells of bacon and potatoes.
And the men's rolls are blue.
Carl leaves as the heat is increasing, not in Glenda's floof, and speaks to Fiona on the phone, who wants to cut all ties with him, it seems. Ben asks Nick about Carl and where he works. Nick directs him to the angry wee man who runs the garage.
Yes, that was funny.
So the garage, Kev and Carl are having a slanging match about which one of them was the biggest disappointment to their dad. Carl calls Kev a loser, so Kev twats him across the head with a wrench,
Yes.
busting his forehead wide open.
How did he reach?
Now, less was enough to kill Ted, but Carl isn't even knocked out. He calls Kev a psycho, and Kev's about to finish the job when Ben comes along and breaks it up. Thanks, pal, says Carl. I'm not your fucking pal, says Ben, and he ends up having a drink.
I'm not your
with
friend,
Kev.
guy.
I'm not your guy, pal,
I'm not your pal, friend.
etc., etc. Ollie is like a hen in a hot girdle trying to find his dad here, speaking to Leanne and Nick to help with the search, all while pretending that everything's fine. Outside the Rovers, he finally sees his dad and sees a bloody Carl on the other side of the street and assumes that Ben got some satisfaction here, but Ben explains that he actually saved Carl from more of a doing. Ollie believes him, but just wants all this dropped. Fresh from getting his head wound stitched up, Carl has got himself a wee poke of chips, and Ben rounds them later, pushes him against the wall, and tells him in no uncertain terms that if he goes near his family again, it'll be the last thing he does. Carl has shot a brick and wobbles off with his stupid poke of chips. Making friends, says Maggie, who appears from nowhere and is somewhat surprised that Ben hasn't already shown Carl who's boss.
Yes, because they're Irish, remember?
They're Irish and they love to fight
They do.
and wrestle pigs.
That's what we know about the Irish. They love to drink. They love to fight.
Wrestle pigs.
Yes. As opposed to the Scottish who like to wrestle sheep.
Yes, that's wrestling.
I was trying to be nice.
What's it like shagging a sheep? It's no bad.
Wait, so you're telling me what's his name, that prime minister who shagged a pig corpse in college was Irish? Is that what you're telling me?
No, he's very much English.
Yes, because the Irish only wrestle the pigs, as opposed to the English.
As much as I'm enjoying this chat of bestiality, this stereotypical chat of bestiality, we must draw a veil over this and move on.
Yes, please. David Cameron.
Yeah.
Yeah. I knew I'd get his name eventually.
Oink, oink.
Oink, oink.
That never happened. That definitely didn't happen.
It happened.
I don't think so.
I've met men who go to upscale Ivy League sort of universities. They do shit like that.
I think if he'd done that, it would have come out much, much earlier.
No, not if it was like Skull and Bones and like behind closed doors and stuff.
Oh, absolutely would have.
And everybody else in the same room was also shagging the pig.
Anyway.
If one comes out, they all come out. I'm really, really hoping that the ladies are using their ear pods while listening to the podcast this week on an airplane.
So, Carol's taken this wrench to the head, which looked like a fairly violent swing as well. But it's up walking about, no real ill effects. We don't even know if he went to get stitches because we didn't go to the hospital this week.
No, we didn't.
The one time I actually wanted to know what happened to the head wound, because it really was head wound of the week.
It was the head wound of the week. It was the only wound of the week.
But the
Yes, it was only the only one.
But when Canadian Psycho Stephen killed Ted with a hole punch,
Right, yeah.
it was far less of a impact than Kevin with a fucking wrench.
Let's not forget Stu's daughter murdered a grown woman with a science project over the head. So the fact that Carl didn't even fall down.
Well, he stumbled, didn't he?
He stumbled. But it's ridiculous. They play fast and loose with headwinds. And don't get me wrong, Adam fell off a balcony and lived.
A mezzanine, call it what it is.
And Billy fell off a cliff and lived.
Yeah.
So, but still, yeah. Stephen killed somebody with a stapler.
The hole punch.
Oh, it's a hole punch, but it's the same thing.
Well, you try stapling with a hole punch and you see how far you get.
Well, they weigh about the same. They're made of the same materials.
I really liked Ben, despite the boxes that was ticking, throwing Carl up against the wall and not taking any shit from moment one. And Carl, to be fair, has never had really anyone stand up to him like that and did not react well. I think the surprise of it was maybe that Maggie, rather than telling her son to calm himself down and remember you're new in the area.
Yeah, we need to ingratiate ourselves to the public.
Yeah, she's arguably worse because she was expecting him to do more.
Yes.
On Friday, it's Halloween morning and Maggie's berating Eva for sweeping the pavement outside the Rovers and fretting about their big Halloween night.
Right. We have seen every landlady at the Rovers outside sweeping the step.
That's what they do. They sweep the step and they clean the window.
Right, yes. So that they can speak to the punters as they walk by.
Yeah, there's a reason to it.
Yes.
Adam passes and welcomes Eva back and is introduced to Maggie. Adam is invited along to the Halloween party later. In number one and in search of a punch bowl, Maggie is introduced to Ken, who undresses her with his eyes.
Yes.
And nearly undresses her with his hands, the dirty old bastard.
Yes.
So,
this I want. Oh my God, do I want this?
Oh, dear.
I don't even care that Ken says, oh, no, I'm not going to the Halloween party. I'm going to read this boring book here.
Mm-hmm.
Whose book was it?
I can't remember.
I can't remember. It was boring
Somebody
and
pretentious.
brown. But it's hilarious to me because just this past week, we have seen Ken as Lawrence of Arabia.
Mm-hmm.
And pretentiously telling people, no, he's not Peter O'Toole. He's actually Lawrence of Arabia.
Yeah. How far he's come.
How far he's come. But yes, a team
Kagi? Men?
Kengi. Team Kengi.
Kengi? Oh,
Kengi.
okay, so I guess Kengi works.
Kengi works.
So this is the deal here, though. This is the deal. Amy has helped out Maggie, who's in search of a punch bowl and can't find one at the Rovers.
Yes.
So Amy says, come over to number one, because I think we've
got a
one.
punch bowl.
She goes to try and find it and says to Maggie,
I
have a
don't-
look in the sideboard here.
I don't think that was a punch bowl. It looked like a salad bowl, but never mind.
Have a look in the sideboard
Yes.
while I go look over here. So
Uh-huh.
Amy goes to look over there. And Maggie
See something in the sideboard.
looks in the sideboard and is shocked by what she sees. Is it Ken's old Grumble mags from the 1940s?
Is it Deirdre?
You watch your mouth.
Is it Eccles?
That's royalty you're talking about.
Is it Eccles? Do they have Eccles mummified remains in the sideboard?
But we never find out what it is.
No! Not yet. Maybe next week we'll find out what it is.
Oh, well.
But still,
There's a bit,
it's a very interesting scene.
there's a running gag in I'm Alan Partridge when he's living in the travel tavern for like 6 months or a year or whatever. He's got a drawer in his room that he doesn't let anybody go to.
Right.
It's kind of like that. It's like we never find out what's in that drawer, but whatever it is, it makes women blush.
Is it his undercrackers?
Who knows? Nobody knows.
Is it Speedos?
No, I think it's something
it
much,
his-
much worse than that.
His banana hammock?
No. At the
What-
party.
What could be worse than Alan Partridge's banana hammock?
Oh, my sweet summer child. At the party, Ollie's less creepy than normal, dressed as Freddy Krueger. George is Frankenstein. Kev has a spider's web on his temple.
Yeah, what is up with that?
Webster.
So lazy.
Cassie is a cat. Shona is a spooky skeleton. Christina is a witch. Tim is a generic spooky man. Tracy is a woman.
No, he's not. Tim is not a generic spooky man. Tim is Gomez Adams.
Is that who he's supposed to be?
He's got thing on his shoulder. Who do you
That was a Munsters guy. I don't care.
you know who Gomez Adams is though, and you know about Thing. Even if you've never seen the Addams Family, and you have seen the Addams Family.
It's news to me. Tim is a generic spooky man.
He's Gomez Adams.
Tracy is a woman in a cream winter coat. And Maggie is death, spooky and scaring everyone who dares to enter. And at this point, I was getting a little bored of her.
Shh. How much though did you love when Christina comes in and sits next to George, and George says that she makes a very lovely witch, and Christina says you make a very lovely Frankenstein's monster, and George says actually it's Frankenstein's monster, and then and then pauses and says, wait a second, did you say Frankenstein's monster? And it's like, George, you're not Ken or Daniel.
But a great line.
But a great line.
A great line that could have been written 2 weeks ago.
Right. Well, no, because it's
Well,
Halloween.
of course not, but theoretically.
Yes. They should go see the Guillermo del Toro Frankenstein together. It should be a date that they go on this week.
There's this whole point at the party where Eva mistakes Adam for Ben and then gives him a goose because both men are dressed as Dracula.
Yep.
And Ben sees this, and both Eva and Adam worry how he'll react. But for a change, he's understanding and secure in his relationship with Eva, so he doesn't make a big deal about it, even when he finds out that Eva and Adam used to be a thing. Maggie, though, wastes no time in trying to make a big deal of it.
Right. Yeah. And this is where she really loses me.
Ben is far more interested in throwing Carl out of his pub, and he's permanently banned.
Yes. And Carl is not dressed as anything,
No.
so he shouldn't be there anyway.
Davy
He
tries
doesn't even have a Webster web on his forehead.
Davy tries to have a word with Kev, but he very swiftly puts her in her place. He doesn't talk to liars. Oh, fucking Kev. Glenda hears this and advises Kev that no matter what Debbie did, she didn't deserve to be spoken to like that.
Yes.
Through the back, James chats to Carl and admits that he still cares for him. But when Debbie walks round and catches him, Carl insists that he was just doing a special kind of push-ups. But Debbie isn't falling for it and remembers Carl being a bit fluid in his sexuality in his youth. Carl, though, sticks to his guns and suggests Debbie might be losing her marbles for reals this time.
Oh, fuck off, Carl.
Yeah, that's hot. No, just awful.
Yeah.
I know they've tried to do this before.
Yeah, and this won't be the last time he does it this week.
Right. This takes the wind out of Debbie's sails, and she starts to doubt herself and apologises for jumping to conclusions. Later, Kev comes into the Rape Hotel to make peace with Debbie, and on his way out, Carl grabs him and asks that they have a truce while Debbie needs both of them. This isn't about him, it's about Debbie, and they need to keep an eye on her. Back at the Rovers, the Driscolls are tidying up ahead of Will's arrival tomorrow.
Yes.
And that's as far as we get with that this week.
Yeah.
So
I liked the whole pick your poison thing, even though it meant Maggie annoying Eva by giving away vodka for free.
Yeah.
You
she's-
water that shit down before you put it in the little cups.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. And use the bottom shelf.
Especially if you're giving it away for free.
Right.
So,
I was really sad that we didn't get to see Sally as Morticia Adams.
right, where's Sally? Tim
Where
said
is Sally?
on his own.
And he's in a classic couple's costume. He's Gomez Adams. You expect Sally to come in as Morticia. I feel like we've been robbed of this.
You really do. We're asked to believe that Sally would knock back the opportunity of dressing up. She loves a bit of dress
She
up.
loves to dress up.
And not just for ho-ho.
Yeah, not just for
any
sexual
reason.
reasons.
So
Although
Sally should
maybe
be
that
there.
could be sexual as well when they get home.
But God, there was just like so many people in that pub again for the party. People that we don't know in masks and scary costumes and dressed up spookily.
Yes.
There was barely any room to move.
Yeah. Caused you some anxiety, didn't it?
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
Just a little. Well, I don't know. The last time they had a drag show in there, it was pretty packed.
It was busy, like I said earlier when we talked about this.
Right.
Busy in comparison to how it normally was, but I don't think it's as busy as that.
And then remember when Steve was pole dancing? Where was Steve?
He's on holiday.
Oh, that's right. That's right. That's why Christina is flying, or not Christina. Cassie is flying solo. Yeah, that will come up later.
So your first impressions of the Driscolls, can you imagine them being the centre of everything that's moving through Coronation Street and being the centre of Christmas and all that stuff that's been promised?
Well, there's nothing I love more than an Irish Christmas. Yeah, I can see it happening.
It's definitely happening.
Yeah, I can see it happening. Will it feel forced, and will it feel like we're putting all of our eggs in one basket? Apologies to Easter. When we have already great characters that could be great again if they were just given a little love and maybe not so many terrible storylines. Because like I said, the thing that really got me this week, the thing that really pleased me, the thing that I loved was Sean and Glenda and Lauren interacting with one another. They were fun. And they could have been fun last week.
So normally, right, to make that happen last week, you have to have a busy pub, because you can't have 3 or 4 people behind the bar and 2 people coming in for drinks. You can't have more people serving than drinking, and that feels like what they've been running with for quite some time. So you have a busy pub, and it just needs to have more people serving to make seem realistic.
Even like the busy pub, I mean, the reason why Lauren and Sean and Glenda were together was because new owners coming in, and they have that meeting and everything where Gemma comes in late and eats all the cookies.
They used to have meetings all the time.
Yeah, they should
you would see Bet and Betty, and you would see Alec Gilroy in the back having their breakfast, having the chat about the day or what else is going on and stuff. You would see moments where all the staff are mingling and socialising and getting their little chatting before they go to work and stuff. And it felt like that meeting with all of them and Eva explaining what she wants to do with the pub and stuff, it was the first time that's been done in ages. And again, that gives a real sense that this is a busy, lively, vibrant place because there's more than 3 people in a scene here. And I know that this is probably more expensive to make because you have to have more people.
Right. You have to pay people to show up.
Right.
I get it. But
so whether this continues or it goes back to how it's normally been, maybe we've thrown some money at this to launch it, but it becomes something different. I don't know that this works if there's fewer people, because it's the atmosphere of it and it's the interactions that makes this work. So this doesn't work if it's just Eva telling Gemma what they're going to be doing. That becomes something very different.
Right. And again, why are there so many people in the pub? I mean, I know it's Halloween.
And there's a new owner.
Right. But would there be that many people in the pub? I mean, it's not like they've advertised it's a new owner. And there's lots of people on the street who are not there.
No, there's a buzz about the place. I think it's fair. But it's more the busyness on a Monday. And I remember this when I went back to Scotland and went back to my local in Carnshore, that when I left, it was a pub that was normally really busy with the same people that would go for a couple of pints every night. And then I went back and it's empty. And it's empty because they've changed the drink driving laws so that if you have any alcohol in your system the morning after when you're driving to work, you still get done. So people just weren't drinking if they had work the next morning, so people weren't going to the pub. So the pubs on weekdays tended to be really quiet. Here, there's a lock-in, which is kind of the opposite of quiet.
Yeah, on a Monday night.
On a Monday night.
Is that believable?
Well, I don't know how it is now, and I don't know how it is in England, but I think
and I mean,
the pub trade is probably saying, well, that's not really how things work these days. But
I guess at least most of those people are within walking distance of their employment, so that helps.
True. Like I said, this is a family that is coming in as a unit that, as we spoke about in the feedback section, is hit and miss. There are examples where it works and examples where it doesn't, and there's examples where it didn't work to start with, but they changed things about it and it eventually did work. So this is maybe the first time in a long while that a larger family can become instantly embedded in the show, and it feels like they've done a really good job embedding them in the show, but they've done that by putting them in everything. There's hardly a storyline that doesn't feature them in some way this week. So, yeah, I enjoyed it overall. I think maybe just temper the stereotypes a little bit. Maybe stop throwing them into everything so that we know who they are. You don't have to keep on reminding us. And maybe by putting them into everything, that familiarity breeds contempt. Mm-hmm. As Winston Churchill, I'm sure, once said.
I think that one was actually Mark Twain. Yeah, it was nice and it was fun. Except for, the mother-in-law and Irish stereotypes. But, yeah. We'll see.
Our next storyline is Home, No Help. On Monday, Hope wants to go to a Halloween party as the Addams family, but Tyrone, quite rightly, doesn't give a fuck for that. Fizz gives him a hard time for giving Hope a hard time. Later, Maria is over for other reasons and invites Fizz to the salon for a free cut and blow while Tyrone heads to Kev's to watch the match. Cassie meets Hope and Devs, and Hope complains about Tyrone's attitude, and Cassie doesn't think anyone needs Tyrone's permission to have fun, so we'll see about that. At the salon with Jake and Ruby, Hope is getting her hair darkened. Ruby obviously fancies Jake, but he literally doesn't know that she exists.
Yes, because Hope is going to be Wednesday Addams, so her hair needs to be black
When Hope gets
and straight, which is the part that's going to be the hardest.
When Hope gets another bullying message, she's quick to blame Jake for this. Fizz wants to know what the fuck that was all about. Hope eventually comes clean about the bullying messages, and later Gary and Jake come over, and Jake has had enough bullying messages himself about his mum being in a wheelchair and his dad being a ginger. So that's just not how he rolls.
Plus Maria and Liam.
And he's convincing enough.
Yeah. Like he's the only member of that family who hasn't been bullied.
On Wednesday, Roy has made Tyrone a lasagna, and Fizz has made up. Jake comes in and all seems to have been forgiven, but Hope comes in, is still fucking fuming at him, and smashes his phone. Later, Gary and Izzy complain to Tyrone about Hope's behaviour and their accusations towards Jake, but Tyrone hasn't a fucking clue what either of them are talking about. So Gary fills him in,
And I like that.
assuming that Fizz didn't want to worry him. Everyone agrees that Jake didn't do what he was accused of. It's not about the money, says Gary, but you can't have Hope bullying Jake after what happened to Liam.
Right, yes. How nice is it to see Izzy and Gary co-parenting?
I know.
We never get to see them co-parenting.
Never see that.
So nice to see them co-parenting.
Tyrone promises to speak to Hope, and when Fizz comes home, Tyrone's angry that she kept him in the dark about all this. Fizz is less than understanding and insists that she was doing the right thing not telling him, and she'll thank him not to keep on going on about it. And that's as far as we get with that.
Shut up, Fizz. You should have told him.
Yeah. He's an adult.
Right, yes. And also, this could potentially be like something really, really serious with Hope.
Yeah, and talking about something else might be the sort of thing that brings Tyrone out of his...
Yeah, and this is something that he may be able to help with, as opposed to chasing a man who has snatched your purse, but has definitely not mugged you.
Right. Are we still of the opinion that it's Ruby that's the bully here?
She is also in the room.
She is.
And on her phone when that message comes through. It's just that Hope sees Jake in the mirror looking at his phone and laughing.
Yep.
That's all she's got. That and the fact that she's knocked him back when he's tried to flirt with her.
It's definitely not Jake.
It's definitely not Jake. No. Yeah, my money is on Ruby still.
Me too. All right, our next storyline is Theo No Sleeves. On Monday at Todd and Theo's, Theo wonders why Todd's been hiding from him. Todd addresses the elephant in the room vis-a-vis the pint of milk poured over his head.
Yes.
Theo insists it was just a joke. Says Todd's face was a picture and tells him to lighten up for fuck's sake.
Did you see the headline saying that Theo drowns Todd in milk?
No, I did not.
I thought the Fizz gets mugged headlines were bad, but Theo drowns Todd in milk, even worse.
Yeah, that would require more than a pint, I think.
Right.
I know you can drown in 6 inches of water or whatever, but
unless he forcibly waterboarded him in milk.
that would become milk boarding.
Right, but that's not what happened.
Todd doesn't look like he's about to lighten up anytime soon about this. Theo goes to see George at Eileen's about some odd jobs. There's nothing particularly difficult, but it's time consuming, and George insists that he starts working on them now. Meanwhile, Todd is opening up to Sarah about how Theo needs to get a job to get his self-esteem back. Sarah suggests selling the car so he can get, after depreciation, 60% of his money back? Maybe not even that. When Theo gets home, he's predictably pissed off that the brand new car has a for sale sign in the window. And once again, Todd has done something without telling Theo. How much more milk will it take, Todd?
Right, especially after he's just said to Sarah that he's worried how Theo will take it if he tries to sell the car.
And rightly so. If
Maybe
you give someone a present and they try and sell it behind your back, even if it is to give you the money, it's a little bit ungrateful, isn't it?
It is. And let's not forget, that car has already had a scratch repaired on it. So that you're probably getting 50% of the value at that point. Once they show you the Carfax.
Right. He says he did it to get some money back for Theo, but Theo doesn't need it, as he'll be working for Carla at the factory. He's making knickers now. They head to the pub to celebrate, but Todd doesn't look all that convinced. At the pub, Sarah tells Todd privately that she was the one what contacted Carla to give Theo the job, because all of a sudden, Carla trusts anything Sarah says.
Well, it sounds like there were already like things that needed to be done around the factory anyway. So Sarah just said, hey, we've got all these things that need to be done at the factory. Theo is short of work. Can we just give the work to Theo? And Carla, who's busy in Ireland, let's not forget, mourning someone in Ireland. She's her auntie, who's in Ireland for some reason.
Everything's coming up Ireland.
It makes sense. And I mean, Sarah is like she's not a part owner anymore. She doesn't have money in the factory anymore, does she?
No, because she was worried that she was going to get fired.
Which is weird. But she is like a partner, sort of. She's got her own office. So.
She sits in the corner of Carla's office when Carla lets her.
Pretty sure she had her own office.
She's nowhere near as important in that factory as she thinks she is, certainly.
She's more important than, say, Sean.
Right.
She's like...
Kirk is arguably more important than Sean.
Yeah. Yes, because he drives the knickers places.
Right, he gets the knickers going.
Yeah.
In more ways than one.
Where was Kirk at the Halloween party?
He went to the wrong place. He went to the Flying Horse by mistake.
Because that's who you want to see. You want to see Kirk at a Halloween party dressed up as something ridiculous and saying dumb things.
Todd is worried here that Sarah was behind Theo getting the job and might look badly upon this, so tells Sarah to keep this to herself.
Right, yes, because then it sounds like he's being emasculated because his dude needed to get him the job.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's as far as I get with that this week.
Thank God.
I don't like, obviously, much to do with this, but it was just a laugh when I poured a full pint of milk over your head, didn't say a word, and then sat down and ate my cereal in front of the TV.
Right. Yeah.
Do you think Theo believes that it was just a joke? Or is it now a joke? Now that he realises what he did?
Yeah, I think he's trying to mask it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Been there. Not with milk, obviously, but been there in situations where have been humiliated and then the next day it's just a joke.
Everything's just a joke.
Everything's just a joke.
Where's your sense of humour?
Yes, where is your sense of humor?
Fuck's sake.
Yeah. Why are men? Why are men? Present company excluded.
Well, I don't know the answer to that. But what I will tell you is, it's just a joke. Everything's just a joke. Like my joke about the sheep. Remember
Yes.
that from like half an hour ago?
Yes, those were all just jokes about sheep and pigs and prime ministers.
Just a joke.
It's just a joke.
Moving on, our next storyline is the three blessed concubines of Nick Tilsley. On Monday, Eva Cakes is back on the street, and Leanne knew all about it. Nick and Toya, though, they did not. Leanne seems still sore about the whole Nick and Toya thing. Eva remarks that she had a go on Nick too. Nick is heading into town to pick something up.
Ooh.
Toya finds out from Maria and is not happy and needs to collect her thoughts. Meanwhile, Eva wants to fashion a coming together of her, Leanne and Toya to hash all of this bad blood out. So Leanne goes over to the bistro to speak to Toya and walks in on Nick getting down on one knee, proposing to Toya. Leanne loses her fucking mind about this.
Right, yeah.
Throws champagne at the pair of them, and Nick bursts into tears. Well, this could have gone better.
And then she just leaves.
It's the fact that she just walked into the office without knocking because plot. And also Nick choosing the office in the Rovers to propose to someone.
Yeah, the office of the bistro.
And the bistro, beg your pardon.
Yes.
It's like, it might as well have been the office at the Rovers.
The Rovers would have been weird.
And the office in the Rovers is the men's room.
No, it's the dining room. In the back.
That's the back.
Yeah,
that's not the office.
That's the office. It's in the
All
back.
the business gets done in the men's room. With Fonzie. Oh, I'm thinking of Happy Days, sorry. That could have gone better. Toya is fretting like a hen in the hot girdle. I've used that already. And even though she hasn't given Nick her answer, she storms over to the Rovers to have it out with Eva Cakes while Leanne is bitching about how much of a cow Toya is. Eva's had enough of this. Throws everyone else out of the pub so she, Leanne and Toya can have this out. With everyone locked out, Nick tries to get in, which allows Sean to mock the fact that Nick has slept with all three of them, and he does this in the earshot of Susie. Yep, Nick's fucked your mum and your two aunties. They all retreat to the bistro.
He may be your dad.
They all retreat to the bistro for refreshments. Inside, Eva somehow negotiates a truce by talking about how weird the situation is, and the common denominator is Nick, so it's all his fault. Everyone agrees, and Eva's knickers fall off just at the thought of Nick in these slippy shoes. And we cut to Nick slipping about the bistro as he struggles to serve all the customers he has for a change.
Yes.
That was really funny.
It was.
Talking about Nick's slippy shoes, and we just cut to a shot of Nick slipping about in his shoes.
Right.
And that's how he moves.
Yeah.
His shoes are overly slippy.
He ice skates through the bistro.
Yep.
At one point, and I don't think we've gotten to it yet, at one point, there's a point where the three of them laugh about the fact that Nick irons his socks. And you look at Nick and you say, yes,
Yep.
that's a man who irons his socks.
Everyone comes back from the bistro, and Susie gives a nervous Toya a welcome hug. So that was nice. Because I was worried about how Toya was going to react to this.
Yes. Yeah, me too.
And it seems to have been dealt with just very matter-of-factly.
Yes.
After they catch up, she heads back to the bistro and tells Nick that, all things considered, she won't be marrying him, but she thanks him for his interest. She just doesn't want to get married. Nick is fine with this and only cries a wee bit.
Nick is very sad.
On Wednesday, Leanne and Toya are more or less back to normal now. Leanne worries that Nick didn't take Toya's knockback well, so while Toya's nipping off for a shite in the pub, Leanne tells Nick that Toya is still committed to him and he would do well to look after her.
The day after she throws champagne on them.
Yes. Post-shite, Nick takes Leanne's advice and shows Toya an empty ring box and asks her not to marry him. Toya says, I don't, which is a double negative. Leanne and Eva are watching from the corner, and it seems clear that this is still upsetting Leanne somewhat. That's as far as we get with that.
Well, it's not like they're making any more single men on the street.
No.
What is...
I am pleased, though, that Leanne and Toya are on speaking terms again. And it does seem to be a truth that's probably going to hold. This has been going on for quite long enough. I think everybody really just wants to get it reset, and I'm glad that it happened. I think we spoke in the spoiler show last week that we imagined that Eva would be a positive influence on
balance.
this happening, and it proved to be the first order of business she had when she came back, more or less. So that's good. And I'm glad that the Susie thing isn't going to be something that causes Toya more distress and more trauma.
Yeah, it feels like she's gotten over it.
She was a bit apprehensive about it, but it
Yeah.
was wee Susie's reaction that really just buried the whole thing.
Yeah.
Oh,
She's a cutie.
like Rosie.
Oh,
She has a wee cutie patootie, though.
she has a cutie patootie.
Precocious, though,
It's cheeks.
and with cheeks. Is Nick...
There are other precocious children on the street.
They're all
It's fine.
precocious.
It's fine.
Is Nick satisfied, do you think, with the not getting married? You'd think that he'd had enough of this as well.
Yeah, it feels like it feels like he doesn't have a choice. But it also feels like this is like with Swarla, this feels too soon.
With Toya and Nick?
Yeah.
That's been about a year.
Yeah. Surely you want to be dating for more than a year before you decide to spend the rest of your life with a person. Legally. Where you have to spend money to break up. Wouldn't you? Why are you looking at me like that?
I'm just wondering how long we were together before we got married. Remind me.
It was a little over a year. And also that was extenuating circumstances.
Oh, because it's us.
Right. Because of the ocean.
It was about a year. From June to July.
Yeah. I don't know. On a show, it feels like it should be longer. I don't know.
I don't have any problems with this. I would maybe agree with you that the Swarla felt a little quicker. But this feels like a decent enough time. But we haven't seen enough of Nick and Toya together since...
Except for work when they're working.
Right.
And also when you have the fact that of how they started as a couple and the fact that he left her sister for her and the fact that he was with Leanne for like a few years before before they got engaged, and he broke that engagement to Toya. So, yeah, it feels like they need to let the dust settle a little more. And also, it just feels like everybody's getting engaged on this show lately. Because we've got Ronnie and Debbie, we've got Swarla, and then Nick's going to propose too. It's just,
Dave and Bernie just got married.
Yes. Yeah, it feels like maybe we calm down on the whole marriage thing for a while.
I would have liked to see more evidence of them being a loving couple.
Yeah.
And then I would maybe go along with this.
Yeah, because
a little bit better. But I didn't have a huge problem with it.
Yeah. It just feels really old school to be.
I just feel that every single one of them can do better than Nick. When his greeting face.
Which is nothing against Ben Price.
Oh, no.
Whom we love.
Oh, honestly, it looks like he's either about to burst into tears.
Or just
he's
stopped
just stopped
crying.
or he's stood in dog shit or something. We'll move on. The most racist careers fair in Manchester. On Wednesday, despite being in the Rovers 2 scenes ago, it's birthday party prep at the Quad House for Gemma. This prep is on day 6 now. Chesney wonders if piranhas eat bananas.
Right, yes, because the donkey was too scary. So they have pinned a banana in a piranha.
Because a piranha's not as scary as a donkey.
Right, yes, for some reason.
Bernie, though, is a bit distracted about Asha and Dev. So when Dev comes over, he has flowers and a kiss for Bernie, so things seem to have improved on that end. Asha comes along too to drop off presents, but doesn't plan on staying too long. Everyone is on tenterhooks, but when Bernie tries to apologise again, and when Chesney offers her a sausage roll, it's more than Asha can handle, and she rushes out. Gemma finds her in the community garden and tries to cheer Asha up by telling her how suicidal she was a while ago, after the quads and after Paul, and tells her that with time she's learned to control her negative thoughts instead of letting them control her. Asha looks like she's about to tell Gemma to suck on her balls, but instead thanks her so that she'll go away.
Right, but it's good that the show remembers that Gemma has dealt with depression as well, and has been to therapy and has been medicated for it. Mm-hmm. You know, which she doesn't say any of that bit to Asha, and maybe she should have.
Yeah.
But still, it was nice of the show to remember this.
Later, Asha is about to go back to the party when, she gets a... She gets a flashback to the incident with Naomi. She nearly bumps into Maggie on their way out of the community garden, and sensing that Asha is upset, Maggie insists that they have a seat and then demands that Asha talks to her. Asha opens up to Maggie and explains about her career and being a paramedic, but it's too difficult. It's okay, says Maggie, you can talk to me. Asha reveals that she's been feeling like this since Tinker died, but not because of that, because she's gay. She admits to taking pills and booze. Maggie wonders how many people she saw in her job in similar situations that she managed to help and get them support. That's what she needs to do now for herself. 'Tis a fine, fine day. She calls Asha an ambulance.
Asha, you're an ambulance.
And they're about to take her to hospital when Dev and Bernie jog onto the scene. Asha promises she's going to be okay. She's going to get the help she needs. And it sounds like she's probably going to get sectioned. And that's as far as we get with that this week.
Yeah, we've got all this build up to the party.
And we never see.
And then we see like a very little bit of the party, and it doesn't look like they've invited anyone to this party.
No.
It's just the quads eating cake. Because Gemma has to go out and get more cake.
Yeah, because these kids eat cake.
They eat a lot of kids love cake. Who knew? But there are no other children at that party. There are no parents with children knocking on the door and coming in and having a party.
Everyone's at the Rovers.
But still, you know, there's all this build up to this party, and then we don't get to see a single banana pinned to a piranha.
No. Or a wonky donkey, or whatever it was.
It was pin the tail on the donkey at first. But donkeys are scarier than piranhas.
The scenes with Maggie and Asha.
I liked them. I thought they were good. I thought they were nice.
Was it believable, though?
No.
Okay, good. Because I was like,
Why would Asha open up to this strange Irish woman?
and why would this strange Irish woman get herself involved in this?
Well,
I mean, I get it.
I don't know.
I get it. It's
you see
she's got to be in every storyline.
You see a woman, you see someone who's really upset. You want to help them.
She seemed a little frantic when...
I mean, she had her hands up near her face and everything, and she was shaking. And she was crying.
Yeah, I suppose. But it was immediately, all that happened at the start was when Asha was trying to leave the community garden and she nearly bumped into Maggie. And that's the sort of, I've just nearly bumped into somebody. Everyone goes about their day.
Right. But if you see somebody who obviously needs help, you try to help them.
She was having an episode. I think they could have made it, I don't know.
I'm just glad that they didn't do the whole, like weird lensy thing and everything. And
we did get a flashback.
the heartbeat sort of thing and all the other garbage that they usually do when somebody has a panic attack on the show.
I guess maybe I just didn't pick up that she was in that bad a state, that an ambulance was called. It felt like Maggie was calling the ambulance because she was scared that Asha was going to hurt herself.
Yeah. And that's probably the right thing to do, even if Asha doesn't, come out and say, I want to hurt myself again.
Yes.
If
better
she-
to be safe than sorry.
Right. Yeah. If we know that she's made a serious attempt before, we want to get her some medical help and everything.
Yeah, right enough.
Now.
Maggie did ask her if she plans to try again. And Asha didn't really answer that, but she reacted very badly to the asking of the question.
Yeah, she didn't say no.
I guess that's Asha out of it for a little while. There was some mention of her on Friday that they've got a room for her.
Yes, a bed for, which is good because it's not easy to do that.
Right. I don't know that I appreciated how close Asha and Tinker were.
Well, they were both in service to the community. So I feel like that brought them closer, that they probably were in similar spaces with one another. And he's also someone who has been there on the street the whole, since she was born, they've both grown up on the street. And she did see him die in a horrific way.
She did. She's had a lot of death to deal with, and we've been very
Right.
complimentary of the way that she sort of matter-of-factly dealt with it. But
Right.
maybe in the matter-of-fact way that she dealt with it, she wasn't really dealing with it.
Right, yeah. And it was one thing with Mason, who she just sort of knew, who died horrifically in front of her. But then Craig,
Yeah, that's true.
that's somebody who's lived down the street from you your whole life.
Right. Yeah, fair
and
enough.
died horrifically. If she
Without
was
his lucky tie.
right, if she was called to his home and he died of a heart attack, I think it would have been one thing. But on the street, bloodied after an attack, that's got to weigh a little heavier on you.
Yeah, he made it to the hospital, though.
Yeah, but he looked terrible.
Yeah, he got his man nipples out.
His face was like smashed in.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, didn't he? He got his face. He was beaten about the head. It was a brain bleed that killed
He
him.
took one knock to the head, but his face wasn't badly bruised or anything.
It was more. There was blood on all over his face.
No.
No, what's his name? Mick hit him more than once.
No, Mick just hit him once.
No,
No, absolutely.
I remember Mick hitting him more than
Then
once.
you remember it wrong then. You hit him once, he went down and Mick drove off. That was it.
And yet Kev clocked his brother with a,
With a wrench.
With a
an
wrench.
iron wrench.
and Carl didn't even fall down.
All right, we'll move on to a penultimate storyline. Cassie on the Switch. Just a few scenes with this, Helen. Just a few.
Just a few.
On Friday, Tim catches Cassie at Nina's Rolls and gives her the job on the Switch, seeing as Steve was off on holiday without her. She doesn't seem bothered about this and is only too pleased to take the job. Tracy in her cream winter coat is so pissed off when she learns about this, her coat drops a tone or two to beige or fawn or something
Right,
like that.
because she wants Amy to get the job.
Amy hasn't asked for the job.
Amy hasn't asked for the job, and isn't she still like a radio personality at the college?
Why would Amy want to work on the Switch?
Why on earth would Amy want to work on the Switch? The fact that
She
that's
uses
the
Uber.
reason. The fact that this is the reason why Tracy is so pissed off by this.
Yeah.
And how she finds out about it. It's
She
ridiculous.
She taunts Cassie about Steve going on holiday without her, but Cassie's in too much a good mood to rise to the bait until Tracy mentions that living with Steve and working with Steve is an awful lot of Steve. Cassie runs this by Tim, who doesn't seem to be interested or cares. So Cassie knows that Tracy can't stand to see people happy and talks all about all the necking she does with her and Steve. They're always at the necking. And Tracy said, "Can you just stop saying necking, please? Necking."
Can you please stop?
Yes, I'm done now.
Thank you.
Cassie reckons that Tracy just wants to break them up. And that's all that happens in that. So I presume that we're getting more of Tracy trying to break them up next week.
Right, yes, and Cassie on the Switch.
Yep. All right, our final storyline this week is The Lonely Grave of Tia Wardley. That's a weird one to finish on, I felt.
Yes.
On Wednesday, Swain is in Nina's roles, chuffed that Carla will be back home today from Ireland, and she can't wait to see her, but she should tell her face that. Carla, though, stops off at the Rovers to welcome Eva back to the street, and so that the Driscolls can be involved in this storyline as well. Carla gets back to number 6 and falls into the arms of a loving Swain, and their house is empty, which can mean only one thing: a nice cup of tea.
Yes.
Betsy and Becky get back from the shops, and privately, Becky tries to wind Carla up by dropping the rather massive hint that she's been sleeping on the couch while Carla's been away. Carla challenges Swain about this, and Swain says it was nothing, wasn't a big deal, and it was Becky who got Betsy off the hook thanks to her mystery thumb drive, so maybe Becky hasn't been all bad since Carla's been away. Carla's still unhappy and wonders how Swain would react if she'd invited Peter to spend the night. Later, Carla goes to see Roy and asks if Becky had been sniffing around Swain while she'd been gone, which Roy is able to confirm, but tells her that Swain insists that it's Carla who she loves. Carla asks if Roy believes her. More to the point, says Roy, do you? Back home, Carla and Swain agree to draw a line under the last few weeks, and Carla says that she trusts Swain. On Friday, Carla and Swain are going to the Halloween party at the Rovers as a cop and robber.
Yeah.
That's great.
That is great.
Before they leave, Becky shows up like a bad smell. Here's Becky again, says Carla. Becky doesn't know how to use a phone, so turned up to ask if anyone wants to go to the cinema. That's what you do, right? You just go round to somebody's house and say, does anybody here want to go to the cinema?
Right, yes.
On Halloween?
when-
When you're all dressed up? Cinema? Anybody?
Spooky
No.
movie? Spooky movie. She wants them to all go see Frankenstein by Guillermo del Toro.
By who?
Guillermo del Toro.
I'll maybe use that one. But everyone's going to the party, so Becky leaves. At the party, Betsy is about to post a picture of Carla and Swain enacting an hilarious moment where Carla is arresting Swain.
Yeah.
But Carla ends up seeing the video from the fashion show from a couple of weeks ago, and this just does about it for Carla, who leaves them to it. Becky calls Betsy later, and she wastes no time in telling her mum that Carla stormed off, so surprise, surprise, Becky goes to the Rovers dressed up as a fucking prick. Meanwhile, Carla is checking with Roy to see if she's fun, and he doesn't use the adjective fun to describe her, but Roy reminds her that Swain is committed to her. Becky, meanwhile, and Roy just so pissed off at being her agony aunt here.
Yeah. It's like,
You're talking to me about relationships. I'm Roy.
right. You're
You
talking
know
to
me,
me
right?
about,
I'll make you a lasagna if you want, but
you're talking to me about, are you fun? I'm Roy. My idea of fun is sitting in a field at midnight looking at bats.
and making lasagna for people.
Right. And trains.
Becky, meanwhile, has been up to no good at the Rovers and puts on Joan Armour Trading, the calling of all lesbians the world over, and the first song at Swain's wedding. This upsets Swain quite a bit, and she rushes off to the bathroom. Becky follows, declares her love, and smacks a kiss onto Swain's face. Swain does seem to kiss her back for a moment, but then pushes her away. She doesn't love Becky. She loves Carla. And at this point, Christina comes in and remarks that someone's left the toilet seat up. In the ladies.
In the ladies.
Who did that?
Who did that? Did somebody... Nobody has used that bathroom since somebody cleaned it a few hours ago?
Who's left the toilet seat up? Who pees standing up?
In the ladies?
Gemma. She goes home and tells Carla about this almost immediately. Becky kissed her in the ladies' room, but not like that. You've got to be fucking kidding me, says Carla. We've just bought a house.
Yes.
And I put everything into this and it's still not enough.
Right.
Swain says that she pushed her away and asks to be believed and tells her that Becky put their wedding song on. This does it for Carla again and she storms off again.
Yes, she
looking
does.
for some satisfaction.
Yep, because she's our Carla.
Yeah, coming back from Ireland has put her in a feisty mood.
We've seen feisty Carla before.
Not recently.
Not recently enough, no, but it's funny how feisty Carla seems shocking to Lisa and Betsy.
Back in the Rovers, Betsy wants to talk with Becky about Spain, but Becky keeps fobbing her off. And Betsy picks up on this, that there's something weird here.
Yeah, there's something going on here.
So Betsy wonders what happened tonight between their two mums. When Carla comes in, pushes Becky into the corner of her booth and tells her if she tries to kiss Swain again, she'll reach down her throat and yank out her ovaries and then kill her. This fight continues back at number 6, where Betsy, oddly, seems to think that this is all Carla's fault.
Right, yes.
A furious Carla points out that Becky could have made a move when she was away, but deliberately waited until she came back to cause maximum damage.
She kind of made a move while you were away too, Carla.
Yes.
We're not going to talk about that, though.
She orders Swain to throw Becky out of their house, which she eventually does, and Carla storms up the stairs. If she goes, so do I, says Betsy. Oh, fucking grow up, says Swain.
Right.
So Betsy just goes to her bed like a fucking idiot.
And then Becky has the balls to say, oh, great influence around our daughter.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck you.
Yep.
Go back to Spain.
And credit where it's due. Because it looked like Becky was just going to leave off her own accord. Until she says this, and Swain flies off the handle, says, after everything that you did,
Yeah. Go fuck yourself.
You've got to be kidding me. Get out. Throws her out. And Swain points out that Becky's meant to be keeping a low profile here.
Right, yeah. Yeah, which she's kind of blown by being in the Rovers, even in a mask.
When it's never been busier.
When it's packed, and then trying to kiss Swain in public when other women can and do walk in.
Mm-hmm. While Gemma's in there standing as she does a pee. Bloody hell, Gemma, sounds like you're running a bath in there. Carla.
You leave Gemma alone. What is wrong with you?
It's not Gemma. It's just the first name that popped into my head. Seriously. Nothing against her.
It's a drag queen.
There we go. Carla comes down the stairs later and doesn't see how this gets any better anytime soon. Lisa explains how much Carla means to her and how she never thought she'd feel love again until she met Carla. But when Carla asks if she still loves Becky, Swain can't answer, which is an answer. So Carla leaves to clear her head while Swain sobs. Carla goes back to Roy's. Roy's like, what do I need to do to get a break here? And tells him about Becky kissing Swain and how she feels like she's getting in the way. Roy thinks this is defeatist pish coming from Carla. Where's your fight, woman? If Becky wants a fight, says Carla, she's come to the right place. And that's how we end this week's episodes.
Finally,
right? Finally, Carla just going absolutely
Carla
Tonto at Becky. And we've all been dancing round about this for weeks and walking on eggshells around this woman. It's just clearly up to no good. She's clearly been up to no good since the moment she came back into the show. And everyone's just like placating her and allowing this nonsense to continue when she just walks into their house, or she turns up because she's bored, or she wants to see if anyone wants to go to the cinema, which nobody does. Nobody goes to somebody's house to see if they want to go to the cinema.
Right.
She's so clearly a wrong un. And finally, Carla said, you know what? I've had enough of this pish. This gets dealt with.
Yes.
Oh, the scene where Betsy is to and fro between whose side she's on a little bit.
Yeah.
I loved the fury of that scene. I loved it that Carla had to be practically pulled away from Becky, otherwise she'd have done her a real mischief. And
Right.
I don't care, policewoman or not policewoman, Carla's taking that bitch down.
Yeah.
If she gets her claws into her.
Yeah. And Becky looks genuinely terrified of Carla.
And
As she should be.
as she should be.
Yeah. It's nice to see feisty Carla.
It's brilliant to see feisty Carla, and it's brilliant to see feisty Carla on such a week. But the theme of this week is this could be any week. Why do we wait for this to happen on this week when Carla could have been like this from the word go, or Carla could have been like this, except they put her to Ireland, I guess.
Right. Yeah.
They put her to Ireland to let Becky get her feet under the table, but
And also remember, we've had conversations between Carla and Lisa where Carla is like, this is all new territory for me. I don't know how I'm supposed, sometimes I don't know how I'm supposed to act in a relationship with with another woman. So I kind of feel like that's at play a little bit here as well. And also because you don't expect your ex's dead spouse to just show up.
you don't expect that.
So,
And I think it's reasonable not to expect that.
how do you react to something like that, you know?
There's a whole history, there's a whole family aspect of it that Carla now feels like an interloper in, which is understandable.
Right. And there's possibly a legal aspect here that we haven't even gotten to yet.
But Swain's really been the one that's allowed this to happen.
Yeah.
And I guess it's difficult for her as well because Betsy's involved in it and it's her mum. I think it's perfectly reasonable to say it is okay for you to have a relationship with Betsy, but you just can't do it in this house.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And if you need a ride somewhere to, I don't know, the precinct maybe,
Spain.
you can, or Spain, you can meet and spend as much time with this dreadful woman as you please.
Right.
And at this point, I don't think Becky's even trying to be subtle about this. Putting on the
Yeah.
wedding song on the jukebox.
Right. Yeah. She's not being
And trying to pretend
subtle at
that
all.
she didn't. And
Yeah. Yeah.
not a
She's
bad
going
song.
hard and fast on there. Yeah. She's amping it up.
it was also nice that the show remembers that Carla is Susie's auntie.
Yes.
Auntie Carla.
Auntie Carla.
For Bobby. For Bobby.
Poor Bobby. I miss Bobby. He's cruising around on that boat with Peter and Simon. He's fine.
Oh, it's just 100%. 100% already fallen overboard 3 or 4 times.
Stop it.
Well, I think that was the week that was Coronation Street.
Yes.
Was it? I think it was.
Is it weird that Ryan didn't come back with Carla
Why
from
did that
Ireland?
happen?
Why did that happen? It's like, he's going to come back later. Why? Why wouldn't he come back with you?
Why would he come back now?
Why is he spending like an extra week with his mum?
This would have been a perfect opportunity for Ryan to be in that room feeling awkward while
Yes.
other people are shouting at each other.
Yes.
That would have been great.
Yeah. And yet we don't get that.
Is this Ryan getting sidelined?
For the Swarla? Yeah, it kind of feels like it. He's getting sidelined because if he was in that room, things would have calmed down, I think, a lot faster.
This is what happened with Bobby. They just kept on pushing Bobby out
Yep.
until Bobby leaves.
Yep. Peter better make some more room on that boat.
Right?
Here comes Ryan. He's going to be the boat DJ.
Oh, God. Ryan, stop playing Agadoo. Fucking hell. All right, that was the week that was Coronation Street. Helen, tell me, what was your moment of the week?
It's the Halloween party, isn't it? Because there's just an awful lot of fun and a lot of one-liners singing around and stuff.
We didn't even talk about David and the rugby ball.
Right, yes.
He was an asshole. He deserved to be pinged.
He was an asshole, and I kind of wish we talked about it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Because he goes in there and he grabs this ball, apropos of nothing, and keeps telling people to go along. People keep reminding him that that's American gridiron football and not rugby. And also saying, no, please don't throw that ball at me.
And then he gets pinged in the head.
Yeah, as he should.
And that brings that to an end.
Yes, and then people mock him for being short.
Which we always love.
Yes.
Taking him down a peg or two. Not that there's got many pegs to be taken down.
Right.
Halloween party moment of the week then?
Yes.
Moment of the week.
I mean, that's more than a moment, but
Yeah, that works.
yeah, we liked it.
Which Chesney moment is your boring moment of the week?
Oh, no. Boring moment of the week is Ken showing Maggie a book.
Not Chesney offering Asha a sausage roll to make her feel better?
No. It's Ken showing Maggie a book. Even though, I'm hoping that this turns into a sexual relationship. Because nothing makes me feel better than old people getting it on.
I want to know what's in that sideboard.
Ken saying, Maggie inviting Ken to the Halloween party, and Ken saying, no, I'm going to read this book right here that I have in my hand.
Which book? This book.
This book. This brown, nondescript book with no dust jacket.
Ken's eyes, though, is as soon as he sees Maggie, he's
Yeah.
like, oh,
Yep.
I like to go a bit Irish.
Yeah.
Dirty Ken. Bad boy. In your bed.
But not like that.
That's our...
Boring moment of the week.
I'm not sure how boring that could be when you look at the lust that was in that man's old watery eyes.
But not enough to get him to the party to see her all made up as death. That's what Ken wants to see on Halloween after he's nearly died.
Yeah. Oh no, death again.
Oh, jeez.
Yay!
It's our this is a section of the show where I ask our followers on Twitter what they thought about this week's episodes in terms of meh, and the results this week. Perhaps unsurprisingly, this is 11.2%, meh 5.6%, and 83.1%.
Yeah, exactly what you would expect for this week with the whole Eva starting, and everybody believing the hype. Yeah, it was a good week.
It was a good week.
It was a good week.
Overall, I would say yes, a good week. We should do this again.
But again, let's try to write good storylines for everyone and not try to pin all of our hope on the Driscolls, please.
Mike writes, very good week with Eve return and her new family. Best week in a long time, says Laws. Some stories need to be quickly wrapped up, but I feel they could do a huge reset building on this. Really hope they can keep it up. Jen Wagner says, I'm enjoying the Driscolls. Happy Eva is back. Enjoyed having feisty Carla back as well. Jack Stringer says, too many characters become physically aggressive at the drop of a hat. Surely in real life most people aren't so violent. One would hope, Jack. Carly Metcalf says, 100% agree with Loz's comment. That's what I came here to say. Great week, Corrie. Can't wait for what's next. As normal, we don't allow these scores or thoughts to influence our decision. Of course we don't do that, Helen. So, what would your score out of 10 be this week?
Yeah, I'm giving it an 8.
An 8.
Yes.
Yeah, I think I'm going to give it an 8 as well.
Yeah. There were some things that I still was uneasy about. Irish stereotypes.
Mm-hmm.
Making drunk people funny. But overall, yeah, it was a good week. I like seeing people at the pub. I like people being given funny things to say, especially people who I know are funny in real life and have good comedic timing. Give those people more things to do. I love seeing as much of Lauren as we got to see, although she wasn't at the Halloween party. Probably because she was trick-or-treating with her baby.
That's exactly what was happening.
Yes.
Yeah,
No trick-or-treating on the show. No, we don't get to see the quads in their Halloween costumes. And I feel like we should be able to see the quads in their Halloween costumes.
I don't know how much of a thing trick-or-treating is in the UK.
It's more than it was when you were a child.
We never did it in Scotland.
Yeah.
I've got like 3 people who came to my door on Halloween before I left, and they're like, none of them were dressed up.
Meanwhile, our friend who lives like 2 blocks down had 800 pieces of candy to hand out.
Yeah, we had about that the first year we were here.
Yeah,
Around about-
and then we moved out of that neighborhood.
yeah, which is a good idea.
Yes.
All right, then, let's wrap this one up. This podcast was brought to you with thanks to our friends of the podcast: Daisy, French Helen, Pickles, DT, Wendy, Noel, Canadian Helen, Christy, Shandy, English Victoria, Aurora Yvonne, Heather Westerfield, Russell Whiting, Jackie B, Brittany Porter, Laurie Anna, Tina, Stephen, Leah, Tara J, Fiona B, Canadian Jennifer, Josephine O'Tingy, Anne Greenwood, Trish R, Sarah Purbrick, Ali Q, Hunker Munker, Darren, the artist formerly known as Seal My Fridge, Pamela, Mars JT, Tom Ambrose, Christopher Anstey, Terry in LA, Joe T, Corey Dales, Matthew McKenney, Ozzy Alley,
Oi.
Welsh Emma, Matthew S, and Rachel B. Thank you ever so much, folks. We very much appreciate your support. If you've ever been to Ireland, write in to tell us about it. We're the Talk of the Street at gmail.com, and we're at Corrie Podcast on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Threads, and Blue Sky, or you can reach us the old-fashioned way, the Talk of the Street, P.O. Box 12, Eaton Rapids, Michigan, 48827. Our spoiler show will be available shortly after this one, and in November's classics, we're talking about episode 638.
Dennis in a Batman costume.
Get access to this exclusive content by becoming a friend of the podcast at ko-fi.com/the Talk of the Street or patreon.com/the Talk of the Street. Check out voggle.co.uk for links to our merch store, YouTube channel, and blog. And if you're so inclined, please leave a rating and a review on the iTunes or your podcast provider of choice. And be sure to check out our pop culture sister podcast, The List of Lists.
Christopher Cross really loves his boat.
Thanks for making it to the end of another episode, and we will be back next week with more
Talk of the Street.
The Talk of the Street.
Bye.
Cheerio.